And you've got a boy cat, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Little tiny ball
There's
sack over
nothing
here.
much to show.
He says, yeah, with a really deep voice. Yeah, we have a man cat.
Where were you today?
That's bad.
Okay, now the reason why I want to do a male is because I want to caution you guys that right here, and I don't know if you guys can tell this, but right here are two tubes that will go away unless you're not very careful. One on each side of the bladder, okay? And these are the semen tubes. There's one also known as the vas deferens, okay? Here's one on this side, and here it is on the other side, okay? These tubes will go away if you're not very, very careful. So make sure you keep them intact, okay? So finding the ureters, okay? So the ureters are, and now you have to kind of picture it in your mind. A lot of it is visualization too. You got to picture in your mind a tube leading from the kidney, which is right here, okay?
You guys are so close.
I could just talk on your phone, I guess. Okay, so here's the kidney, and here's the urinary bladder right here, and the ureter goes into the back of the urinary bladder, okay, from the kidney right here. Okay, so you have to visualize that there's a tube in here somewhere, and as you're looking around, I'm guessing that you probably can't just pick out the tube, okay, because it's all embedded in all of this fat and junk that's in here. Okay, so the easiest way to find it, and I've discovered this by trial and error, is to take the bladder, and you know that the tube is connected to the bladder, and we're going to take the bladder and kind of pull it toward the tail. Okay, now what that does is that makes that pulls the tubes tighter, and so it makes them pop up a little bit. Okay, so here's one, here's the one on this side, okay, and then here's the one on this side. Okay, now we would not have been able to see those without doing this. So what we're going to do now is we're working one side at a time, and we're going to break through. This is the dorsal mesentery right here. This is a nerve, and we're going to just tear that nerve away.
That's tight.
Okay, but this is the dorsal mesentery, and we're working on and getting the ureter, which is this right here. That's the tube that brings urine from the kidney, where the urine is made, into the urinary bladder. Okay, watch your faces. This rubber pops like a rubber band.
It's like those spiders.
Kind of does. Okay, and we're also going to unwrap the kidneys. The kidneys are all wrapped up in this stuff too. We're going to unwrap the kidneys, okay? So here is the ureter now, completely isolated off the dorsal body wall. Now we can go on this side and start removing all of this junk, okay? All this junk that makes dissecting the cat look messy and difficult and all that kind of stuff, and we're going to have a clean body wall here now, okay? Now, on the other side, again, we stretched it. Now, where is it popping out? Show me.
There.
Point to it.
I don't want to.
Okay, good. Okay, it's right here. So we're going to do the same thing on this side now. Okay. Again, we're doing all this, and we're removing fat and all that kind of stuff, and we're not disturbing these little tubes right here. Okay, not disturbing those. Okay, now let me caution you guys. Some of you may have a cat, and this has happened twice already today, and it happens on about maybe 2 to 3, maybe 4 cats a year. Okay, and that is there's a genetic mutation that causes, when the cat's body is starting to form, there's a genetic mutation that causes this ureter, it's the right side ureter, comes underneath the vena cava. This is the vena cava right here, and we're going to learn that. We haven't really got to it yet, but we will. This ureter goes underneath the vena cava, comes back out around it, okay, and then attaches to the kidney. That is a mutation. It's a non-lethal mutation. It's actually a non-harmful mutation. It doesn't harm the cat. The cat is dead, but it didn't die from that. Okay, it formed just fine, and everything operated just fine. It's just that the ureter is wrapped around the vena cava. Okay, if you can't find it in here, call me over and I'll find it for you. Okay, it might be wrapped around the vena cava. The other problem you might encounter is if your cat had a vein blowout during the injection. Okay, if you had a vein blowout during the injection, then there might be a big gigantic glob that looks like a racquetball of blue latex right here, and it just looks like a mess. Okay, if you have that, call me over too, and I'll come over and help you with that. Okay, this cat didn't have either one of those issues. Okay, but see that all this right here, we're getting rid of all of this. We're getting rid of all the fat around the kidneys. There's 2 blood vessels that go to the kidneys, a renal artery and a renal vein. We want to keep those intact. We want to keep the ureters intact, but we want to start getting rid of all of this stuff on the dorsal body wall. Okay? Questions? All right, let's get to work. Anybody know already that they have a cat with a big, gigantic